I'm Gareth Davis and you have just entered the Davis Locker. It is quite simply the greatest movie-based infotainment show on the entire interwebs. Now, if you've not already done so, we would love it if you were to head on over to YouTube, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you know exactly when we post new content. Right, it's Saturday the 21st of March and the UK is on lockdown. Well, kind of. It does seem like everyone's misunderstood the term quarantine and they've hit the local parks, they've gone to the beach, they've even started climbing Snowdon. Pictures have emerged today of lines of traffic with people ignoring the advice of the government to head off for a lovely weekend drive. Now, the National Trust has tweeted, "We've closed our parks and gardens to restrict the spread of coronavirus, as well as our built properties. Many of our car parks for the countryside and coastal locations are now likely to be closed. We urgently request people to stay local, observe social distancing and not to travel." The absurdity of people never ceases to amaze me. I mean, the guidelines are simple. Unless 100% necessary, you are not to venture out. I mean, some people seem to be treating this as a 3-month holiday or something. I mean, the government had said, yes, you can go out into open spaces, you can go and do some exercise because it's good for your mental health. However, you must stay at least 2 meters from other people. Now, how can this happen if everyone's flocking to the beach or to parks? Come on, people. Anyway, let's talk about movie news. Yeah, there's no movie news today. And also going forward, I think the movie news will get pretty sparse. So let's crack on with the Coronavirus Film Challenge. We're on to day 6. Today we're watching the classic Hitchcock thriller Rear Window. But before that, it's obviously snack time. As I'm not allowed out for my caffeine kick, I've gone for a Buc-ee's caramel macchiato, partnered with some nice and spicy knickknacks. Disclaimer, as with all of these snacks, I've bought them myself. We're not in partnership with anyone. However, if someone does want to send us some chockies, feel free.
2 hours later.
Released in 1954, Rear Window stars Jimmy Stewart and Grace Kelly. It's about a wheelchair-bound photographer who spies on his neighbours from his apartment window and then gets convinced that one of them has committed murder. Check out the trailer.
This is the apartment of a man named Jeffries, a news photographer whose beat used to be the world. Right now, his world has shrunk down to the size of this window. He's been watching the people across the way. Nobody seems to pull their blinds during a hot spell like this. He knows a lot about them by now. Too much, perhaps. For instance, down there on the 2nd floor, the woman pacing about. He calls her Miss Lonely Hearts. So lonely that even death seems like a friend. These are the newlyweds on a honeymoon no one will ever forget. He calls her Miss Hearing Aid, an artist of a very odd and strange art. The songwriter who plays the same melody over and over again. A genius or insane? This is the traveling salesman and his invalid wife. Out of their arguments and nagging comes a weird kind of love. Miss Torso, the body beautiful. That is, viewed from a safe distance.
Those are just a few of my neighbors. First I watched them just to kill time, but then I couldn't take my eyes off them, just as you won't be able to.
And you won't be able to take your eyes off the glowing beauty of Grace Kelly, who shares the heart and curiosity of James Stewart in this story of a romance shadowed by the terror of a horrifying secret.
mean, come on. Alfred Hitchcock was the absolute master of suspense, and this film was actually nominated for 4 Oscars. The whole movie was shot on one set, and the entire apartment complex needed to be constructed, which takes months and months of planning. During the month-long shoot, a number of the actors lived in their apartments and relaxed in their space between takes as if it was their own home. Now, famously, Alfred Hitchcock cameos in all of his films. In this particular one, around the 25-minute mark, you can see him winding a clock in the songwriter's apartment. Incidentally, the songwriter is an actual songwriter in real life, Ross Bagdasarian, who actually created Alvin and the Chipmunks. So there you go, there's my little tidbits for you. Please let me know what you thought in the comments below and on social media. We are at The Davis Locker on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Now, as suggested by Stewart Maitland on Facebook, tomorrow's film is Omega Man. Now, as I keep banging on, if you're not already subscribed to us on YouTube, we would love it if you were to head on over there, hit the subscribe button and that notification bell so you know exactly when we post new videos. As soon as everyone's signed up, we'll stop talking about it. Now, if you do prefer your content in audio form, you can now download the podcast on Apple, Spotify and Google Podcasts. Make sure you go and subscribe everywhere you get your podcasts. And also, we have a lovely little website, www.thedavislocker.com. Head on over there for all your news, your film reviews, trailer top trumps episodes and all our original content. Right, I am Gazza D. This is The Davis Locker. Stay at home. See ya.